Thank you all so much for tuning in. My name is Laura Afonso. I am your host here at the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center for GoLocal Prov. Happy Thanksgiving Eve to everyone out there who is watching today. We are really geared up to eat some good, hearty food for tomorrow. I am just like saving my appetite. I'm getting ready for the feast. So my first guest today, Milena from Rebel Artisan Bagels. Thank you so much for joining.
Nice to meet you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
We're glad to have you. Now, before we really get started talking about all of your bagels and baked goods, I really want to hear about yourself because I think that you have a really interesting backstory that led you here. So tell me a little bit about your own background and how that led to Rebel.
All right, so I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I came to New England to go to MIT for chemical engineering.
Wow.
So I am not a trained baker at all. I'm very completely self-taught. I did my chemical engineering at MIT, decided I didn't really want to practice in the field. It's kind of like one of those hard hat, steel-toed boots kind of job.
Definitely.
Which wasn't my vibe. So I did a little bit of office work here and there, worked for a few local big companies. And then I decided the corporate life wasn't for me. So when I thought about my next move, I started thinking back to my youth. Not that I'm old, but like
reflecting back,
back. And I realized like I have always enjoyed working with food. I enjoyed creative pursuits, working with my hands, nourishing people.
Definitely.
So I started looking around the local market, and I realized no one was really doing bagels the way that I was envisioning it. So I wanted like a really creative approach to making bagels, everything done from scratch by hand, very creative spreads, kind of pushing the limits in people's imagination of what a bagel could be. And so I just started experimenting in my kitchen, and the rest is history.
Wow. So that's a great story because I love hearing these, young folks who, maybe have a corporate job or who are using their degree, but, maybe it's just not exactly the right fit. And so you're able to pursue something that you actually have a passion for.
Absolutely.
And it really shines through because when you're actually, committing yourself to something that you're really interested in, you're really invested in, the outcome is amazing. And that's a very clear case here with you.
Yep.
Yes. So when did Rebel open?
So we opened our doors for the storefront on August 12th of 2017. So we're a little over a year old.
That's amazing.
Yes, we've come such a long way since we opened. It's kind of wild. It's like, I bet it's the feeling that parents get when they see their kids grow up.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm seeing like my store grow up.
You're like, I've raised you into this beautiful being.
Yeah, it's really blossoming into something beautiful. Prior to opening the storefront, we were operating as a pop-up for about like 8 months.
Okay. So you're able to go to farmers markets, get people tasting your bagels, and once they get the taste, then they're like, oh, I have got to come back for more of these.
Oh, absolutely. It was such a good move, like, in terms of marketing and setting up a business. Starting as a pop-up really allows you to build your customer base.
Definitely.
So that when you open your doors on day one, like, it's not crickets. You actually have people coming in.
Yeah. You're kind of doing the legwork for yourself.
Absolutely.
So you're really getting your name out there. You're giving people a little bit of a taste. So that way, when you're ready to open those doors, they're coming to knock on it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So if you haven't been to Rebel, we're on Camp Street, correct?
Yeah, it's Camp and Doyle on the east side.
Great location.
Yep.
Yeah. So very nice space, very welcoming, bright, colorful, and lots and lots of bagels. So the smell is definitely going to get you too.
It's intoxicating. You can, when I pull up in the morning, like I don't do the early morning bake anymore. But when I come in around 6, they're like in the middle of it. And the smell when my car pulls up, oh, it's wild. Like it just emanates from the corner.
Yes. Incredible. Now, a big part of your mission is using local ingredients and using tradition. So if you could tell me where you are getting the ingredients to make your products from.
Yeah. So some of the biggest components are like flour. We use produce, dairy, that kind of thing. Our flour, like our wheat flour, we use King Arthur out of Vermont.
Great.
And for rye, which goes into our pumpernickel, we recently switched over to Main Grains. Which is basically like a flour startup out
Cool.
of Maine that works with local New England grain growers. So it's completely like maintaining everything in the New England ecosystem.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but we really believe in paying a premium to support local farmers whenever we can.
Definitely.
Our fish is purchased locally as well for our lox, our cured salmon. We work with like a fishmonger out of Narragansett. We sometimes buy from local farmers such as like Moonrose Farm out of Cranston by Melissa Denmark from Ellie's and Gracie's.
Great.
And we also support other local business owners, particularly women. We support the Nitro Cart for our Nitro Cold Brew, Chi Kitchen Kimchi, which we use as a topping on our sandwiches. We use local sauerkraut as well. What else? We use locally roasted coffee from Borealis, which is roasted just 5 miles away from our store. We actually bring it in, like from roast to cup, it takes less than a week.
Oh my gosh.
Which is really wild. You're never going to have stale coffee at our shop.
No, it's always going to be fresh.
Yep, so whenever we can, you know, it's not super practical to source everything locally, but as much as we can, we do.
As much as you can, absolutely. And that's a big part of being a business, a small business, especially in Rhode Island, is like you said, working with those other businesses, locally owned, women-run, small businesses that are able to help support each other.
Yep.
Which is fantastic.
Yep.
Now, in terms of tradition and using maybe a recipe or however you go about making it, that's a big part of it too. And I think that it's interesting that you have chemical engineering as a background because, you know, I find that whenever I'm cooking, you know, you can throw a little extra butter or like a little extra garlic and it's fine, it comes out normal. But if you're baking, it's a whole different story because it's so much chemistry and the way that different ingredients are going to interact with each other and like timing and everything. So it's interesting that you have that background and you're able to kind of apply it here.
Yeah.
So what kind of traditions do you use in making the bagels and how long did it take you to find your bagel recipe? Because it's a really good one.
Oh, it's really good. So the way we incorporate the tradition, I did a lot of reading to figure out like what methods were used. You know, in the old days, we're talking like, you know, before the 1950s and the revolution of the frozen bagel. But what methods were used, how were they rolled, how long was the dough proofed for, like how did you boil it, etc. So that's kind of how we landed at the base recipe. We roll all of our bagels by hand. So sometimes we have days when we're making like 1,400 bagels.
Oh my goodness.
There's one person who's rolling all of the bagels for that day. One person.
Oh my gosh. Like,
sometimes two if we're lucky.
Gets up in the morning is like, time to make 1,300 bagels
we're
today.
all like mad.
I guess I would not be surprised.
Yeah. But the science element is really, really integral to what we do. A lot of bakers approach it as an art. So they develop an intuition about their dough. You know, it's kind of like becoming one with your dough, which we certainly learn over time. But having like a scientific background helps us develop that much faster.
To a T, like you get really specific with it.
Yeah, so if your dough is like overproofing or it's not rising, then you can kind of go through a list very methodically and say like, you know, what temperature did we proof it at? Like, how long did we proof it for? What was our hydration? And you just land on like what went wrong really quickly. So we're able to iterate and learn from our mistakes much, much faster.
Absolutely. Now, can you tell me, when you say proofing, what exactly does that mean? So
proofing is when you let the dough rise. So when you're making bread, you're mixing your flour, your water, your yeast, salt. You know, depending on the recipe that we're working with, we throw a few extra things in. And then you let that sit for the yeast to start growing, and they basically just poop out air. They like fart inside the dough, and that's how the dough gets big, and that's what we call proofing.
Okay, cool. So for those of us, I've never made a bagel in my life, and I don't know if it would come out very good. So that would be a word that I would need to add to my vocabulary should I ever want to make bagels. But now I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
that's so
absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, so that's a big part of the process. Now, you're making in-house 1,400 bagels.
Yes.
And that is crazy because I see that you sell out all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but I see it.
Yeah, but we sell out fairly often. It's very tricky to like forecast demand.
Definitely.
We actually, so I'm kind of a math nerd.
Sure.
And I have like looked at all of our sales data over time, married it up with weather data, holidays, etc.
So many different things that come into
Yeah,
play that you
so
have
there's
to
like
look
a
at,
correlation with the weather, which is really strange.
Of course.
But like you can only predict so much. So sometimes we do sell out. And part of our mission, like we try not to waste food. We think
That's
there's just
huge.
something really horrible about producing a lot of food waste and like overproducing bagels to make sure that, you know, that there's like a lot left should people come, and then having to deal with food waste at the end of the day is something we want to avoid.
Absolutely.
So we like try to get it as close as possible. I would say 90% of the time we nail it.
Definitely.
And then the rest of the time is like, you know, the kind of moments that you talk about when we're sold out.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have it really down to a science at this point.
For the most part.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
Of course. Now, you don't stop at bagels. You do baked goods in-house.
Yes.
You do breakfast sandwiches on those bagels. And you do house-made
We do sandwiches.
spreads.
Yeah, we do our spreads. We do sandwiches. We do house-made pickles. We make deli salads. We make granola. Anything that is breakfast or breakfasty
Related.
Yeah, we try to make, and our approach is to make everything in house. Like
Definitely.
literally, even our mayonnaise, we don't touch like the
Hellman's,
stuff.
you're not getting it.
No, we go to the store and we see the giant jars, and there's something about like the idea of dipping into
Scooping
it.
it.
Yeah,
You're like, I can do this better.
No, we make like the most beautiful, creamy, delicious mayonnaise, fresh, like right before it goes into the salads.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing. So what kind of things are you putting on your breakfast sandwiches? I see pictures of them, and they literally look like a sandwich of the gods. They're colorful. They're like overflowing. So you're not just getting some like wimpy, soggy bagel with like a little bit of cream cheese. And you guys are doing incredible things.
Yeah. So, I mean, we take a lot of pride in our egg sandwiches. I wanna offer the classics. You know, people come in and ask for like a bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. We do that, but we try to take it to the next level. Our sausage, like our breakfast sausage, we make it in house. So it's our own recipe with like fennel, brown sugar, a little bit of spicy, black pepper. Like it just hits all the right notes. And then we take like a few kind of experimental approaches as well. We have like a veggie frittata. If you're trying to stay healthy or like want to jazz up your breakfast, that one has spinach, red pepper, onions. And then for the month of November, which is like the end is around the corner.
I know, I can't believe it's already almost done.
I know. So for the month of November, we have a sandwich that we're calling the Spanish tortilla sandwich.
Ooh.
So have you ever had a Spanish tortilla?
I believe I have.
Yeah, it's like the egg with the potato and onion inside.
Yep.
So we're doing that, and then we do Spanish chorizo, so it's the cured stuff, like sliced real thin, with some manchego cheese.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how we're trying to take like the egg sandwich to a whole nother level. So when people come in, they're just like, I didn't even know you could do this for breakfast, which is the feeling that we want.
You're thinking outside of the box.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And I saw that you guys will make soups. You're doing all kinds of things in-house.
Yes, people come in and ask us, like, hey, why don't you have soups? Why don't you have salads? Why don't you have this? And we're like, okay, I hear your challenge.
Add it to the list.
Yeah. If enough people ask for it and there's a demand in the market for it, we're down to do it.
Definitely.
Like, we're down to please our customers.
Yes. So for baked goods, I see all sorts of savory, like monkey breads and muffins and cookies, and they just look incredible. Do you have a favorite that you like to make? Or I guess eat?
I love our cookies.
The cookies.
Yes. We have one that we call the junk cookie.
Oh my God.
And that one just kind of came to me like in a dream.
We're dreaming of cookies. Not bagels, but cookies.
I know. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, I
got it. I have to keep a pad next to your bed to write down all of these dreamy cookies.
Yes. So the junk cookie has chocolate chips, marshmallows, which just melt into the dough. It gets gooey because we like underbake the cookies just a little bit. So you get like a little toasty, a little gooey.
Yes.
And it has cornflakes, and then what we do is we roll cornflakes.
Oh my God, so crispy, like
gooey, so like the outside of the cookie is completely crusted in cornflakes, and then the middle is ooey gooey. I love textures.
That sounds ridiculous.
It's a beautiful texture play.
Soft and warm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So good.
I'm hooked. Sign me up. Yeah.
I'll hook you up next time you come in.
Yes. And now I think that you guys do a really great thing with your spreads too, because you're not just doing like regular like veggie cream cheese and like plain and all that.
Yeah, we don't have veggie cream cheese.
No veggie cream cheese.
No veggie cream cheese.
Because you guys are doing like a whole other option. You have like beet and all sorts of things. Can you tell me a little bit about the process and like what kind of flavors you have for cream cheese?
Yeah, so when I first conceptualized the idea for Rebelle, that was one of like the key ideas that we're going to take the spreads as a vehicle to showcase really interesting, unique global flavors. Definitely. So we rotate our spread selection every 3 months.
Nice.
So it kind of flows with the seasons. As much as we can, we incorporate seasonal produce. But right now we have really interesting flavors. Like we have a preserved lemon and parsley.
Wow.
And a lot of people are like, I don't even know what preserved lemon is. And we're like, that's the whole point.
Yeah, we're going to try something new.
Exactly. We're stretching people's like palates. We're trying to bring them outside of their comfort zone.
Definitely.
And at the end of the day, like it's such a low stakes game. It's a bagel and cream cheese.
So if you don't like it, you're not, paying a $30 entree. It's just a little breakfast.
Just try it out. Like it's a fun way to jazz up your breakfast. We've done the beet dill horseradish cream cheese has been super popular in the past. Right now we have a maple and sea salt cream cheese that's to die for. Wow. Heavenly.
A little sweetness.
Yep. We've done harissa, which is like a Middle Eastern hot pepper paste, kind of like a sriracha of the Middle East.
Spice.
Yep. So we just take all these interesting flavors and put them on cream cheese, and people are just like very curious about what we do.
I can see why. Well, you're always getting new flavors, interesting things coming up, so everyone probably wants to try what's new.
Yeah.
Yes. And now, I have to tell you a secret.
Yeah.
Bagel with smoked salmon is one of, I would say it's like top 3 of my favorite foods in the world. I go crazy for it.
I eat so much like lox.
Love it. Love it. Like, I can't find anything that's better than that. For like an ideal breakfast, smoked salmon on a bagel with cream cheese. It's just the best.
It is
now,
heaven.
you guys are actually, you're getting fresh fish.
Yes.
And you're curing it in-house.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we do everything short of like, like hooking and killing the fish.
We let them handle that part.
Yeah, they handle that, but we get fresh whole Atlantic salmon twice a week. And as soon as it comes in, like it hits the table, we fillet it, we put our cure on it. We do 2 different kinds. We have a dill crusted one, and then we do one with pastrami spice.
Wow.
So it's kind of like peppery, a little coriander, like it's got some kind of interesting flavors going on. And we cure it for about a week, and then we slice it always by hand, fresh, very, very, very thin. So we have special knives only for that.
Salmon, yes.
Yep. And then we like slice it and it gets served the day of, and that's it.
That is incredible.
Yep, super fresh.
Yeah, so that's how you get a really, really good bagel with lox.
Yep, I don't think anyone around here is doing that. Actually, like when I started the business, I talked to the Department of Health because I wanted to source locally like smoked lox. And they were like, we don't have anybody in our database who does local lox.
You're like, oh, well, I'll take it from here.
Yeah, I was like, well, looks like I got to do it.
Yeah, I'll step up to the plate for sure.
Yeah, and so, again, it's one of those things that we learned our own, just like doing a lot of reading, experimenting. But it's beautiful. It's silky, smooth, fatty, salty. It's heaven.
It checks all the boxes.
Yes.
It's really amazing. Yes. Now, we know Thanksgiving is tomorrow, so I'm sure you guys probably had a full house today.
It was crazy.
You guys are doing a little bit of everything. You had pies, buns, cinnamon rolls.
Yep.
So what was flying off the shelves? Everything, I assume, but...
Yeah, so this was the first time ever that we've made full-sized pies.
Wow.
That was kind of a leap of faith.
Yeah.
We were thinking, like, no one's going to come to a bagel shop to buy pie. We sold out of all of our pies. Yeah, we saved this one as a sample. This is our maple pumpkin pie.
Beautiful.
So everything that we try to do, we try to always think about, like, what's a twist that we can put on it and make it our own. So we had a maple pumpkin pie. We made a brown butter tahini chess pie. Have you ever had chess pie?
No.
I don't know how to describe it except to say it's like a nothing pie.
A nothing pie.
Yeah, it's got nothing in it. It's like what you make when you have nothing in your pantry.
Oh, okay.
The filling is like a custard made with butter, flour, like eggs. You know,
it's just that easy stuff.
It's like a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, it's whatever you have in the pantry.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but we make it with tahini, which we make ourselves out of our toasted sesame seeds. So the sesame seeds that fall.
Such an interesting taste. taste.
Absolutely. It's nutty,
Yeah.
but you like don't know what it is because
Yeah.
it's a flavor you're not used to.
Place it. You might not have ever had it in a
Exactly.
pie form. So.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so we had that. We made everything bagel dinner rolls.
Oh my gosh.
So we have these right here. Can you smell
I
that?
actually can't
Yeah,
smell
you don't even
them.
have to get too
Like the
close.
spices, like they're coming right through the bag. I can't take it. Oh my
And then
God.
we made these brioche dinner rolls.
Brioche dinner rolls.
Yep, so
Okay.
brioche is like a buttery, pillowy bread. And we had all sorts of cookies and cakes at the shop.
Yeah.
And we did our regular bagels. People thinking about breakfast tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
you've
They
got
don't really.
family in town.
Exactly.
They're sleeping over. You spent all day cooking, and you really
don't wanna
have to
cook.
make them breakfast, and you might
Yep.
not want to have turkey and gravy for breakfast. So
Yeah.
getting your bagels in the day before, very, very
Exactly.
smart for those people.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
they're
so
planning ahead.
we totally sold out by like 11, so we just sat there for the rest of the day waiting for the online order pickups.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and so, I mean, we're super floored with all the support. We hope to do this again next year, bigger and better.
Yeah, absolutely. You can add things to the menu.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, we didn't actually touch
Oh.
upon these. What do we have here? These
These
look
are
tasty
our
little cookies.
signature cookies.
Signature cookies.
Yeah, do you want to try one?
I do want to try one.
Okay, sweet. So these are halva and chocolate cookies.
Okay.
All right.
Halva and chocolate. I do
Yep.
love halva.
So halva is a sweet that we make again with tahini. So when we make our sesame bagels and we put them on our trays to sell, a lot of the seeds will fall off. And we started like keeping these seeds and we're like, oh my God, that is a lot of toasted sesame seeds. What do? We don't want to waste it. Again, we just don't like food waste. So then we started processing it into tahini. So basically you just grind it down like you're making peanut butter.
Wow.
And then out of that, we can make halva, which is just like a candy. You
It
just
really
turn
is.
it into a candy.
Sweet and like nutty and oh my
Yeah.
God. And these are just like the perfect texture
Exactly.
too.
Once you like break them up into chunks and you throw them into the cookie dough, it kind of melts into the cookie dough when it bakes. So it's just like nutty, gooey, creamy, tasty.
Everything that you want in a cookie.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
And then we roll them in sesame, drizzle them with some dark chocolate. You're good to go.
The rest is history.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Now, you do online orders.
Yes.
Is that the best way to do if you wanted to pick up ahead of time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we have online orders 5 days a week, Wednesday through Sunday. On weekdays, you can actually place an order for immediate pickup. So you
Okay.
can say, you know, if you're leading here and you want to eat your breakfast, you can
Yeah.
just put in your order from your phone. It'll be ready in 15 minutes. So then you show up to the store, go to our register, and say, hey, I'm Laura. I'm here to pick up my order.
Cool.
That's easy
Nice
peasy.
and easy.
Nice and easy.
Yeah,
and then
kind
on the weekends, you can order, like, you know, for your brunch, for your
Right.
family, that kind of thing. Like, we're always trying to figure out how to integrate technology into our business.
That's very smart.
Yep.
Yes, awesome. Well, I'm really excited for all the people that got their goods from you because you know
Yes.
they're going to have a great spread for tomorrow or for the day after for breakfast.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to eat more of these cookies in these little rolls. They just look so good. I can just like cut them open, put a little butter in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that's a great way to start the day.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I
you.
really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving.
To you as well.
And I know that if you're have your hands in the kitchen at all tomorrow, whatever you make has got to be good. So,
Oh, yeah.
yes, excellent. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our second guest.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning back in. We are live here with our second guest, John. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Co-owner at St. Monday's Bar.
Yes, St. Monday. It's over on the west side on West Fountain Street. Co-owner Morgan Perlman. She couldn't be here today.
Yeah. Hi, Morgan.
Hi.
But you guys just opened up not too long ago.
We did. I think we're only at about 6 weeks now, 7 weeks.
6 weeks. So
yeah.
you're like brandy new.
Just babies, just getting our sea legs on it.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that you guys are making a great first impression. I really
you.
love what
Thank
you guys are doing. But before we get started talking about everything that you have to offer, I want to hear a little bit about yourself,
Okay.
Your background, and how you came to get started up with St. Monday's.
Absolutely. So I spent about 12 years in New York City, working in various bars, restaurants, from barback to bartender to bouncer to manager, all throughout.
So you kind of filled every shoe in the
Yeah,
restaurant.
yeah, and so I kind of got a full look at what it takes to run the whole place. I moved up here about 7 years ago with my wife and at that time 6-week-old daughter.
Wow.
She's 7 now. We have another son. We have another kid, a son. And yeah, and so kind of eventually got into the restaurant business up here. Morgan was also spent time down in New York City.
Okay.
She worked, was the operations director for this big, awesome bakery down there, City Bakery. Very, very cool stuff. If you're in New York City, check it out.
Yeah.
And then moved up here to do her MBA over at JWU.
Nice.
And we met working at Cook and Brown over on the east side on Oak Street. Yeah, and kind of just started bouncing ideas back and forth about what were we looking for, what did we miss from New York, what did we want, what were we, if we were going to open a place, hypothetically speaking, what would it be?
What would it look like? What would it
have?
have?
Now we have St. Monday.
That's so cool. You can kind of think about like a dream or like a goal that you can set in the future and like really get creative and think about all the pieces that you would invest into what your own personal touch would be.
Totally.
So that I can definitely see your own styles reflected in the
bar. And we wanted to make a place that we wanted to go and eat at and drink at, and all of that. And I think throughout the entire process, I think we really hit that with the design and the food and the drinks and everything. So.
Awesome. Now, where did the name St. Monday come from?
St. Monday. It's an old term from sort of pre-industrial revolution.
Okay.
Back then, people were working in factories.
Right.
They'd be working 6 days a week. Saturday night would hit. They'd get paid. Sunday was for the family. They'd go out. They'd have a picnic, something like that. But Sunday night, they would hit the pub.
Okay, so they'd go out.
Yeah. And if they went out a little too hard and woke up Monday morning with a little something in their head, but they still had some change in their pocket, they would take the day off from work. They would take a personal day. And that was generally recognized as taking a St. Monday.
For when you had a little bit too crazy of a Sunday.
We like to call it like it's the patron saint of the working man, the hangover, and the 3-day weekend.
Yeah. That's such a great backstory to put into a name.
Fun fact about it too, that like eventually the owners, the factory owners, got so tired of everybody calling out
on Monday
that they said, fine, you can have 2 days off a week. So now we have the weekend.
There we go. Thankfully, thanks St. Monday. Pray to St. Monday.
Yes.
And thanks St. Monday for now that we have Saturdays.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Yes. So if you haven't checked out St. Monday, it is an absolutely beautiful space up on West Fountain Street. I'm trying to describe the feeling, the vibe in there, and it's like sultry and like bright light during the day, but like silky, like, you know, crushed velvet is what I would say. At night, you know, it's almost sexy in there. It's really, really cool. So I just think that the vibe is on point. So I think that it's cool. Your approach is coffee during the day.
Yep.
And cocktails at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the food, you know, during the daytime I brought a few things here that we can kind of take a look at.
Yeah.
The buttermilk biscuits. Our head baker, Christina McLean, is putting out stuff that is just
amazing. I had one of these with a little bit of honey butter the other day, and it was amazing.
I will put this biscuit up against anybody. Yeah. These are incredible. We got a couple of cookies there, that double chocolate chip espresso. chocolate chip. We got sea salt. So everything, all these got that combination of sweet with a little bit of salt in there to kind of make it pop.
It just like really brings all those flavors out. Yes.
And then these are the pinnacle of it all, I'd say. Oatmeal cream pies.
Wow.
They have a marshmallow fluff buttercream in the middle. These are the ones that Christina has said when we first started talking. She says, I have this oatmeal cream pie recipe that I want on the menu. I want to do it. And we tried it and we're like, yes, yes, yes. This is also the only dessert at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are just doing these oatmeal cream pies, and they are so good, so good.
Yeah, I mean, they look really good, so if they taste anywhere near that, then I am sold.
Yes.
For sure. Now, you also do some good breakfast items. I know I saw some oatmeal and things like that.
Yeah, we just started. So in the beginnings here, we're still rolling out new menus all the time. Yeah. So right now for breakfast, we have biscuits and gravy. We do a house-made granola with yogurt and some candied cranberries. We've got oatmeal. The one that's really nice is a urban ricotta hand pie.
Okay, I
got
saw
some
your
egg in
hand
there.
pies.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really cool.
And that kind of carries over throughout the day, so that because we are a place that is open early in the morning and late at night, we want to find these ways to kind of transition throughout. And so we have, exactly. We have that urban ricotta. It kind of switches up to a chicken pot pie. Right now, we are doing a Thanksgiving leftover hand pie that'll be available Saturday morning.
So Saturday morning, Thanksgiving hand pie. I'm assuming some turkey, gravy.
Turkey, gravy, stuffing, a little bit of cranberry. It's nice.
I'm really looking forward to that. All of these places that are, they're doing the Thanksgiving specials and the leftovers. It's just like the best part. So, and a hand pie. Oh my God, forget about it.
Yeah, it's all right there. You don't even have to worry about the mess. It's
just
right there.
Eat it.
Yep,
awesome.
Exactly.
Yes. And then, so what are your hours during the day? So you're serving coffee, tea, espresso, cappuccinos, all of these tasty little sweets and breakfast items. So your morning hours are roughly...
So right now, we do 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for that morning service. Like you said, espresso, baked goods, that breakfast items that are coming out. Shut down for a couple hours, and then we open 5 to midnight for that nighttime cocktails.
Awesome.
Hors d'oeuvres, a few main dishes. We are expanding in every single way, both hours and menu items. There will be more lunch options. There will be more dinner options. Eventually, we will be 8 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week.
Just straight through.
Just straight through. The doors open. They don't close. You can come in any time of week, any day, and get some good food and good drink.
Yeah, well, because I know that a lot of places will need that day that they need to recuperate, or and having those 2 hours in the middle of the day, I'm sure that really helps you. That helps your staff, and especially you guys are brand new. I think that that's more than acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, right now we kind of need to have that moment to just take a breath and see, because we will be doing that, and then once that hits, it's just kind of full bore.
You gotta go all the way through it. Yeah, definitely. So in the nighttime, you guys are doing cocktails, you have some small bites, and you have some dinner items.
Yeah.
So what are you guys cooking up for food?
For food-wise, so we focus on kind of what we like to say is like a cocktail party, circa 1960 something.
Fun, yeah.
Lots of frilly toothpicks, but it's a lot of recognizable Americana dishes that you'll see and you go, oh, I know what that is. But then you taste them and be like, wow, that is not what I remember. Things like pigs in a blanket, Swedish meatballs. We've got a banging burger on there.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's like
the
in
emphasis
the
that
best
you put
possible
on that, like,
way.
it sounds like you've got some behind it. It's got to be good.
Yeah, it's like a Big Mac all grown up.
Oh my gosh,
it is good.
Big Mac.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And eventually we will have whole family platters, like whole chicken, pork, with sides and everything. There will be a lot more hot dish, kind of fresh vegetables, casseroles, things like that.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep expanding, but really kind of meant to be food that when you come in, you want to have a couple of drinks, and you can sort of choose your own adventure a little bit with that menu of saying, oh, I just want a snack, or I want a couple of things here, or we want to share.
Yeah, you can come through with all of your friends or some family and like sit down and have like a big feast.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, it is Thanksgiving Eve, and I don't know if you know this, but Thanksgiving Eve is one of the biggest, I guess, party drinking nights of the whole year. So everybody who is from out of town comes home, and we all want to celebrate. We're happy to see friends friends and family that we haven't seen in a while. So everyone goes out and has a good time.
Yeah.
Very safely, of course. So if you're in town and you're looking for a new spot that's really cool to go out and enjoy a cocktail with your buddies, this would be a great place for that.
Absolutely.
So what kind of cocktails are you mixing up for me today?
So today I brought a Gold Rush.
Gold Rush.
Gold Rush. And
Okay.
I think this kind of symbolizes what we go for, which is classic cocktails or cocktails that are kind of in the pantheon. They're simple. There's not too many ingredients. It's all recognizable stuff. Same kind
So
of
I'm not
with
getting
the
any
food.
like weird ingredients. Like I don't even know what I'm getting myself into.
No, you can come in, and we wanted a place that, you know, a lot of times you walk into a cocktail bar. I walk into a cocktail bar and I'm like, I have no idea what that word is.
I guess just
can't
surprise
understand
me.
it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make a place that's accessible for people to come in. But these cocktails, we spend just as much time making sure that they are the proper ratios and everything, and that it's tasty. So this one, Gold Rush, it was originally created by a guy named T.J. Siegel down in New York City.
Cool.
At a bar called Milk and Honey, which was one of the sort of original new wave cocktail bars.
Yeah.
That place that in that early 2000s, late 90s, that people really started to go, wait a second, cocktails can be good. They don't have to be these big,
like
giant, sweet things.
Face-cringing things.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, it's very simple. It's honey, lemon, and bourbon.
Beautiful.
That's
nice
it.
and simple.
So I'll whip up a couple of them. So it's basically, you can kind of do, if you're doing it at home, you can kind of just do a 2-to-1 ratio of 2-to-1, 2 parts bourbon, 1 part lemon, 1 part honey. That's the easiest way. Easiest way to do it.
And this
Fresh
is
lemon
lemon
is
juice?
key. Yes, fresh pressed lemon. That's key.
Juice. And that's important. So not just the little, yellow lemon that you would find at the grocery store. You have to use fresh pressed lemon. And if you have a little juicer, a little squeezer at home, it's not that difficult, and it definitely makes all the difference. So. Ooh.
So there's that. Got our shaker right here. Give it a little something.
Yeah, a little finesse.
And boom.
And pour it over ice, nice and frothy. Oh my gosh.
So you'll see it's bright. It's got that lemon. The honey works really well with bourbon. I find this to be a really nice fall cocktail.
Thank you.
Because you still get some of that fresh citrus, that bright quality that you're used to drinking all summer long.
Beautiful.
Right?
That is like so smooth, and the flavors are just really, really lovely together. Because that honey, you can get a little hint of it, but it's not when you get those sweet cocktails. This is really cut with the lemon, so it's got that citrus sweet. Really
and that's what we try and do, is find that balance, right? You might be, if you're not used to it, it might seem like, oh, this is a little off, weak, but these are balanced cocktails, and that's the point of it.
The science behind them.
The science.
Yes, the science. We all love the science.
Absolutely.
Of course. Now, you guys, of course, were busy baking all of your regular goods that you keep in-house.
Yes.
But you also had your hands full because Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
Yep.
You guys were doing pies. So
we were.
What were you,
So we
up for pies?
still have a couple left.
Ooh, so if you haven't gotten your Thanksgiving pie yet, and you're like last minute, you don't want to have to go sit at the grocery store in line forever, you can come up to St. Monday.
Yep, St. Monday. We have 2 options. We have a home-baked apple pie, which is just that kind of real traditional, nice pie. And then we're doing a pumpkin chai pie.
Ooh, okay. Because we hear pumpkin spice, but a pumpkin chai
Pumpkin
pie.
chai. It has some of those similar flavors and spices that you recognize. But it's really nice, creamy,
chai is
really good.
On another level.
Yes, and so we will have those. If you're going out tonight, heading to the bars and want to come by, you can also pick one up tonight from the bar. And then also tomorrow morning we will be open.
Really?
Yep. Tomorrow morning, 8 to 11, we'll be selling pies, biscuits, muffins. So if you really forgot to grab something,
you completely forgot,
come
or
on
last minute mom told you, I burnt the pie, I need you to pick one up. You can grab one.
Quick.
You could grab yourself some muffins for breakfast if you just don't feel like cooking anything else for breakfast tomorrow. Or like we were saying, the day after Thanksgiving, you could do that too. So there you go. You're kind of setting yourself up for success here.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And then tomorrow night, we will be open from 6 p.m. on.
Oh,
so
okay.
for anybody who is You know, if you're in that Lonely Hearts Club, you're like, gosh, I just need to get out.
Yeah.
Or if the family's driving you
They're
crazy
driving you nuts.
and you need to get out for a little bit.
Auntie.
Yes, you can come on by for a cocktail.
Awesome. That's really great. So you guys are really getting into the community. You're really giving back. So we're really happy to hear that. Awesome. Do you have a favorite thing on the menu? If I had to pick one thing, what would it be?
One thing is this oatmeal cream pie.
Okay,
like,
all right,
hands down. I remember growing up like with that little Debbie box that would be sitting in there, and then you're just ripping through this. This is just it's so much better.
It's a gourmet
yes,
version.
Absolutely.
Amazing. I can't wait to check it out. So if you could one more time tell us the hours so that if anybody is in town looking for a good time to go out with friends, family, have something to do. So for today and tomorrow, what are the times that you're open?
Yeah, so we're St. Monday, located at 393 West Fountain Street. That's on the corner of Winter and West Fountain over on the west side there. Our hours are 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then 5 to midnight. Tonight we will be open 5 to midnight. Tomorrow morning for those pies that you're going to come and take to dinner. We'll be open from 8 to 11. And then we'll reopen tomorrow, Thanksgiving, at 6 p.m. for cocktails and anybody that just needs to get out.
Go and have a good time after dinner.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, we hope that you all go and give St. Monday a visit, and we hope that you definitely try one of these little oatmeal pies, because I'm definitely going to have one, of course. But in addition to that, we hope that you all have a very happy, safe, and fun Thanksgiving. Make sure you eat tons and tons of good food. This is like the holiday to do that. So we hope that you all enjoy. And until next week, happy Thanksgiving, and thank you so much.